Okay, finally, it's on till the break of dawn, and the match is underway. Reykjavik Puffins against Stockholm Snowballs. Sorry, for some reason people can't follow simple instructions and close doors and stuff like that. But okay. Just a quick, we have to let people know that we are starting. So let's go to Hannes' game. We do that. Whoa, why is that up? Oh, I can't do that. I have to do it like this. Still learning. We are learning here. Oh, we have a follower, Tobusas, following the Puffins. Very good. We appreciate that. Close the goddamn door, man. Last minute setup here. Just about ready. Sorry, I can't focus on the games right now, but we'll get there. First round is underway. Uh-oh. Okay, so this is Hannes. He has back against Erik Blomqvist. I takes with the knight. Taking with the pawn, knight b5 was a problem because the a7 pawn hangs and knight c5 was in the air, so knight takes d5 was necessary. So Hannes' cam is working. Let's see who else we got here. We have Johan. Let's pin his video. Check out his game. He's playing against Inna Agrest. Now Inna is the lowest rated player among everybody playing today. So she will be our obvious target. She's rated 2271. But she showed last year that she was a tough opponent and got some key points that enabled the Stockholm Snowballs to beat us last year. So Johan is playing on the black side of Willie Lopez. And here's Björn. He is playing from home. And he has the white pieces against the solid Georg Meyer. And well, no surprises here. He has been playing this bishop g5 line against virtually anybody. And this has usually been his main idea, to get a stone wall with the bishop out. But black has the e4 outpost here. White has to lose time because of, well, maybe f6. Yeah, probably f6. I don't think queen h5 is possible there because g6 and queen f7 if you take on a g6. So bishop h4 was necessary. And now f6. And I'm not sure what he wants to do with the pawn on f4. Okay, bishop b5 check, and g6. And already this is not looking like a desirable outcome from the opening. I don't see if after we move the knight. Okay, he might be thinking about queen h5, but I don't see. But it does, like the variation I mentioned before. Probably black can play g6, knight takes, and queen f7 pins the knight. And there's no real good way to get rid of this pin. Sorry, being disturbed with some noises here. So okay, already I don't like this one. And with the white pieces, this is not what we want happening here. Johan Mate. Where's Thruster? There's Thruster. He is playing with the white pieces against Evgeny Agarest. So if you're watching, the broadcast is probably a bit delayed, like 10-15 seconds, so I recommend just watching the broadcast and not on chess.com. So TRH411 asks, how is morale after a disappointing Super Sunday? Well, we were half a point off of getting something there, so of course that was a bit disappointing, but it's just a matter of moving on to the next one. I mean, nothing to be done. Important match tonight. We need to keep focused on this one. And if we can get a result here, we'll be fine. I think we'll be on course for the playoffs, which is our goal. So let's hope we can do that. So let's see what's going on here. This was a Karakan exchange variation. Let's quickly go back. There's the took on d5, queen c7, preventing bishop f4. So a solid line for both players, of course. And having said that, Agarest gave up a pawn here. So he gets some play on the g-file, at least that's what he's hoping for. Development. So white is up a pawn. But black is hoping to get some pressure. Now h4 is threatened, therefore white prevented that, not allowing this. So h4 himself, queen e8. Yeah, so black definitely has some play for the pawn. But is it enough? Hopefully not. White is hoping he has time for his own play on the queen side, perhaps. Yeah, just a moment. Okay. Grote kopie. So the queen e8 first played c4. Okay, still up a pawn. Let's go on to some others. Johan. Yeah, that's not working. That's not working. Let's remove this. So Johan has cemented the knight here on c3. Pawns are equal. And he's a big time match. Let's just quickly see what happened. We had what looks like fairly regular Spanish g-chord with c5. Bishop to f8, b3, knight b6. And what happened? Took on e5. c3 is under attack. And she allowed the knight in on c3. Now it looks tempting to take, but there isn't really any easy way to take advantage of this weakness on black's king side, and black's square bishop might eventually find some life here. So queen e3 was played. This of course has ideas of taking on e5. Let's check in with Johan. Johan. Johan, of course, our board 1. He's playing here against Agrest, who is their board 4. Meanwhile, I'm trying to find Johan's cam. Here it is. We'll pin that one. There you go. e4. This is well defended by both knights. And bishop takes f6. You have to figure in potentially some e takes f3. Although g takes f6 should also be fine. For those watching from Iceland, we'll keep an eye on where is it? Where is it? Ah, there you go. Okay, just a moment, just a moment. Oops. We put in on while we switch here. So we will keep an eye on the Reykjavik Congress, where it's the final round. We have some players of the Puffins playing in the Congress, for instance. Bragi Þorfinnsson couldn't play, but this is Bergson against Ragnarsson, Stefan against Dagur, an important match. But yeah, we'll have a look at that later during some breaks. But for now, after 92, attacking e4, Johan played bishop d6. So does he have some tricks here? Some trickery in the station? Bishop takes. Does bishop here trap the queen? Is that the evil trick? It's probably the evil trick of Johan. Who haven't we checked out in a while? Hannes is playing Erik Blomqvist, and he is up a pawn. We saw knight takes d5, took on c3, and this could become vulnerable. Like bishop f8, yeah. We need to scale up the pawn. Ah, he can't play b4. Oh, Johan stood up. Hang on a minute. Okay, nothing going on there. Yeah, b4, then bishop c4, and how to defend this. So cunningly, it looks like Hannes has won a pawn here. Although, white has the option of either with bishop f2 or bishop c3, protecting the pawn and playing e4, getting a menacing center as compensation for the pawn deficit. But do you like what's going on in Hannes' game here? Meanwhile, we did not like what was going on in Hoodnin's game, when we saw bishop to b5 check. Whoops, what happened to bishop b5 check? Knight c6, he took on c6, and he's down a pawn without compensation, and black has the bishop pair. So that's not what the doctor ordered here. Castles. It will be hard to gain counterplay here. All the position for black. This bishop will be a monster. I think we can already write off this game. Having said that, it's their board 1, 2650 against our board 4, so it's kind of the expected result. Hey! Ah! Nee! Nee, ég var að svissa á milli. Ég sá drókning E8, ég sá það litt C4. Okay, we saw this one. D4, B4. Starting an attack, knight takes, rook takes D4, and now rook B1. Threatening mate, queen E7, and then into mid-air. Queen C6! Ah! Laat rustig. Great result. So the Puffins off to a winning start. Queen C6. Þannig. That's how the Puffins roll. 1-0. Big result. So if Hannes can, that's such a beauty. That's such a beauty. Candidate for move of the week, guys. Already first game. We have to tweet that, right? How do we do that? Can we like oh, sheer. We have to tweet for move of the week candidate here. I forgot how to share. How to share the board. Okay, we'll do it later. Sorry guys, I just got a bit excited. Let's keep watching. Blomqvist against Hannes. F3, he played B6, kicking the rook back, and now C5. Very tactical because takes, bishop B7, rook A3, or is it tactical? Yes, knight D7. He wants to take on C5 with a piece. If C6, which looks tempting, I take on C6, and then I take on A3, winning the exchange. So if black can take on C5 here, he has gotten rid of the white center, and he will have double connected pass pawns. Very promising. So Johan has a big time match against Inna. Let's see what happened. We saw bishop d6, g3, preventing bishop f4 ideas, bishop e5. Yeah, now he's getting in. This is becoming an idea here. h6, bishop d4. I think he's penetrating white's position here. g4. It's possible to play, if you want, you can play knight d2 and win the exchange here. And he's probably checking that now. He has 9 minutes against 2.5. Meanwhile, we'll quickly go to board 1, where Hutnin. Yeah, it was a horrible game, just to be honest, and like I predicted, this will be a monster, and he resigned. So 1-1. Solid game by Meyer, but Tony will be back. He's always trying to get 2 out of 4, which is good on board 4. If he can get 1 result against, he beat Dagrist last time, so a result against Dagrist and Blomqvist will be great, and then a win against Inna. Hey man with monkey, what's up? If he can do that, that's always good. So he doesn't take the exchange. He elects to keep the pieces on. And perhaps it's more tricky for white to have to deal with the constant threat. For instance, if bishop g3, which is tempting to kick the queen, which is probably what Inna wanted to do, the queen comes back, and now knight g5 is annoying. Then I can, you know, attacks here, and will threaten knight f3. So okay, queen f6 is more logical, keeping the queen on this diagonal. So you still have this threat of knight e2. h4, okay, preventing knight into g5. Do we take the exchange now? No, h5, breaking up the pawns. Nice positional move. h3 to h4. Had some consequences, as you can see. Because now you cannot adequately protect the g4 pawn, and the pawn chain will start to crumble. g5, queen takes f5, and this is looking very good for Johan, who I believe will turn 55 tomorrow. I believe so. Okay, this is looking good, and Hannes, what happened there? He was off a pawn. Let's see. He played bishop b4, a5, c6. So he's up a pawn here. Oh, he takes and then check on c8. No, okay, of course he didn't take. Bishop c5. So okay, I mean, Hannes can't really lose here. He has the bishop here and some pressure, but definitely not as easy as it was when he was up the pawn. Well, can he stay on the b file? He probably has to attack the bishop, otherwise we take on d4. But even still, like if rook a1, we take, and the b pawn is just running. So rook b5, yeah, okay. We must
bishop c4 and then d5.
Yeah. Black is holding all the trumps. I mean, and this time is okay. Bishop to c4.
Okay, rook b2.
And rook takes d4.
Yes.
Nice. Oh, is this forced? That's beautiful.
It's forced.
The rook has to go here. Rook takes d4.
Okay, but then rook c2.
Oh, that's lucky. Okay, but we
Bishop b3.
Bishop b3. Oh, then you can. Rook takes c5.
Rook d2 check.
King e1. Rook d1. Yeah, it works out.
Second g2.
Yeah, of course. That's nice. Tactical exhibition by the Puffins. Okay, I'll keep an eye on the clock. Meanwhile, okay, yeah, this is nice, but he played h5, knight e3. I mean, he could always take the exchange, but he's keeping the pieces on. I mean, it's 30 seconds left. He's up a pawn now, and just keeping the pieces on.
Much better time.
Yeah, this looks fairly comfortable. Blomqvist is still thinking. We can pull up some cameras here. Okay, let's go back to Eric, and this has happened. Rook c2, and now, okay, if he sees bishop here, that's obviously better. But worst case scenario, we have rook d3 and, or do we?
Oh,
Yeah, bishop b3, you found it. Excellent, excellent. Erbið vel. Húnnin kemur tilbaka. Skilja hvað til D10 frá mér? Rúnaberg, takk fyrir.
Takk fyrir.
Yes! Hannes annar. Brilliant, let's go to Johan. Say Johan. Update the score, 2-1 for the Puffins. Taktiskur í dag. Góður. Okay, where is... Hann teldi þessu spassi. Já. Hann heima.
Þú heima, ekki hér?
Nei. Vandrar hann börni, sko. Finna hérna. Johan, okay, she's down 21 seconds. This should be fairly easy.
Já, hann með betra.
He's up a pawn. No, won the exchange. A3, A5. Because he just gave it up. I mean, there's not much to be done anyway. And F5. Yeah, this looks rather easy for Johan. Let's switch to the player cam. Yeah, the thing is though, he doesn't really have to hurry. I mean, he's down to 20 seconds, but Johan has a winning position, so why play for time? It's not worth the risk. F3.
Still alive.
Still breathing. He takes. Should be fine. Rook takes and rook takes. But he's down to 10 seconds. It's gonna be really difficult if there's some unexpected move. I'll just play knight. Okay. I'll just play knight d3. Just cover everything. Especially now. It wins another piece. So knight takes c2. I don't think. No, there's no perpetual. You can also go for the endgame queen f1, you know, whatever, basically.
Yes, 4 minutes.
Já, triple shit.
Já, býttu nú að segja, sko. Það kemur dróning D5, kongur H8 og dróning F7.
Já, dróning H8.
Já, dróning H8.
Yeah. So Johan just took some time to check the details, and he didn't see anything wrong with this. And queen h1 now is very tempting. If king g4, then knight e3.
Í dag ekki dróning H5, trúið að þér ofta.
Queen h1.
Biskup H. Ekki rittar e3.
Rook e3 is coming in.
Ekki rittar e3, dróning H5.
Nei, eftir komið g4 kemur rittar e3. I mean queen h1, king here.
Sá ekki dróning H8 skák.
Huh. Okay, it's still winning, but what did he play? Rook d8. Okay, yeah, that was plenty of time. It's still winning, but okay, and then queen d1. Yeah, just queen d1. That's the safest move. Oh, that's better. 2 seconds. 1 second. Bishop f2. Lucky 2. No stalemates, no nothing. 3-1 for the Puffins. Nice. So a great result out of the first round, and we're leading 3-1. Through it. So small break. Okay, we were on a break. So we're back. 3-1, very nice. Thank you, Mannered Monkey. 3-1 is excellent. So, got my Puffins hat on. The Puffins. And we're waiting for the second round to start. The first round went fantastic. I've been trying to set up some Streamlabs stuff, so if you follow, it should pop up. So if you haven't followed the Puffins, why not follow and check it out? And let us see if it works. So 3-1, yeah. So Johan could have played here after knight takes c2, queen takes f5. He could have played queen h1, seemingly. If king here, knight e3 picks up the king. Picks up the queen, doesn't pick up the king, well eventually, but not immediately. So this is forced, and then this looks very good. I'd be surprised if like king h5 works, but I mean worst case scenario, we play here, exchange the queens, and we're up a rook, take everything. Move the pawn. Okay. So I went to the trouble of finding some player photos for you guys. So Þröstur Þórðarson, he's up for move of the week, definitely. Queen c6, it's worth another look. It's worth another look, isn't it? Here against Evgeny Agrest, Agrest sacrificed the pawn. He tried to get active on the g-file, but Þröstur just played solidly, and here the final touch. Queen c6. Have a look at that. No queen c7, we take it, and if pawn takes, there's mate on b8. Fantastic stuff. Hannes also had one with the black pieces against Blomqvist, who is really solid. That's fantastic. He also found a nice tactic around these points here, bishop a2. Here the problem with rook a1 is probably that we take, and b5, b4, b3 is coming really fast. So he tried rook b5, but then first this jack covering b1. Now the king f2 forced, otherwise tactics with bishop f1, bishop takes d4, pawn takes d4, rook takes f1, king takes f1, bishop c4, jack. Black is up a piece. Well, it's a nice line. I'll show it to you. I'll take here first. You take. I take. I'm up a piece. So instead, king f2. But now you lure this rook onto a square it doesn't want to go to, and you don't really have a choice. Rook b2 was played, and now rook takes d4. And if takes, bishop takes. Double attack. Czechoslovakia, you going down. So yeah, looks like we killed the Svíagrilla already in round 1. Svíagrilla is Icelandic word. No, but plenty of games to go, but fantastic start. 3-1, something to build on. Okay. Okay, I got news. Björn he didn't have time to focus on the first game. Now he's at home with the kids. Kids have eaten, they're in front of the TV, so now he can focus on the games. So let's hope so. Perfect. Perfect. Okay, we have to plug this everywhere we can, right? That's what we do. Fantastic start. But okay, the second round is on the way. What do I have? Okay, yeah. We have to blah 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 blah. Where? Okay. Publish. Okay, so we have, hang on a minute, yeah. Have to shush the guys. Okay. So Maya is the white. It's a German. Okay, let's have a quick roundup. Johan against Blomqvist. I can't remember if they had this color last year. Johan got 3.5 last year against Stockholm. And he's playing quite confidently, so I like that. But Blomqvist knows his way. It was a Sicilian Tamanov. After, let's go. Although e4 c5 to d4 knight c6. We have queen c7. This is the start of the Tamanov Sicilian. The old idea was to play knight g7 actually, but this is the modern interpretation. Takes on d4 and now bishop c5. So black is getting seemingly fluid development with his pieces, but bishop f3 starts to blunt this diagonal a little bit, and b4. Okay, we'll see. The robot Hannes, he started quite well, and now he's playing in Agrest. And this is, well, I must say, a must win for us. Yeah, maybe I'll have to start officiating in the NBA. Did you guys see when Russell Westbrook slipped and they called a foul on it? That was hilarious, but it happens to the best of us. And okay, Agrest is playing this line. Usually I think Hannes knows his way pretty well around a Spanish, so I'm not worried about this one. But again, it's very important for us to get preferably 3.5, maybe 4 against board 4, because it's significantly low rated than our guys. But against Ljubljana they had a guy on board 4 21-14 or something. He got 2.5, and that was a decider last week, so we have to stay focused against the board 4. Bjössi is playing against Agrest, and we have a London system. And Bjössi goes for a quick queen p6 when, yeah, knight c3 is a good line. You can't give up this pawn because knight b5 is very uncomfortable to say the least. And I don't really like what black is doing here. The pressure here is not going to amount to anything. Yeah. Taking on b5 is already too much. You're losing too much time. Bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes, b takes c4. But he does it. I really don't like this. Meanwhile, you have your whole king side sitting at home. Okay, he's going to try to hang on to the pawn, but there's also rook b1 ideas, knight f3 to e5, or d2, e5 looks a bit... This is just... this is... Björn is off to a horrible start. He promised to play better, so he has to stick to that promise. Okay, bishop f3, we had b4, bishop to e7, e5. So what's going on here? Okay, the king is in the center, so Johan doesn't mind opening up here with c4. And knight takes. What happens if we exchange everything? He goes for it. Probably it's around equal. But black shouldn't have any problems. Yeah, I figured this would happen, queen takes, and queen takes just to keep the pawns intact. Yeah, probably this should be hovering around equal. But do we take with the pawn? Is that why he's thinking, Johan? Why are you thinking? Yeah, I'll see. Refereeing is a tough job, but we signed up for it, so. Okay, this actually makes sense because black would have gotten some initiative. Queen takes c3 with rook c8, maybe castles a rook c8 even, and some pressure. But here, maybe now white can start thinking about initiative with rook b1, c4, bishop e3, maybe c5 if he can. Okay, meanwhile, Georg Meyer. Should we maybe turn this one off? Sorry about that, just trying to limit the resources on the computer, which is starting to complain. So thruster, equal material. What happened? So we had this, yeah, kind of quiet line here, early e4 by white. So does he want to claim that this is something for white? Maybe it is. I'm not sure I would like queen takes d2 because knight takes d2, we have pressure on this, and white also has the open file, so rook e7 might come. So faces some problems, yeah. Yeah, in Johan's game, the black didn't want f5, so he played g6, which is logical, yeah. And now he castles. Okay, has Hutnin found a way to improve his position? Took on b5, and we saw knight f3 and now rook c8. Yeah, the problem is rook here. The initiative is just tremendous. Where does the queen go? You have to keep an eye on this, and then knight d5 with tempo. This is just horrible chess. Horrible. Meanwhile, the robot, Hannes. Our guy Hannes. So yeah. So on board one they have Georg Meyer, who's playing against Hutnin. He's the highest rated player in this match, rated 2651. And who was I trying to find? Hannes. So yep, Hannes has the white pieces against Inna, like we mentioned. An important game. Hannes is up 2.5 minutes, which is already promising. But probably not much going on in the position, and probably black is quite happy here, about to place her knight on f4, get an attack. So I have a feeling Hannes is a little bit worried. He pokes at this pawn on c7, and probably black wants to do something about that. But yeah, I was going to say, on the other hand, simply moving in with a knight on f4, you are starting to create some threats with queen g4. Maybe even bishop takes h3 is a threat immediately. So king h2 by Hannes, hopefully avoiding all the funny business. If queen g6, probably the ugly looking rook g1 should do the job. Yeah, but Inna is fighting back. This is not easy for Hannes, by no stretch of the imagination. Maybe we should go back and see what Thruster did against the offered queen trade. After queen d2, he retreated. He didn't like queen takes d2 because of all of the pieces moving in. And now knight to e5. f6. Lokka, 3-1 okkur.
Unnum við 3-1?
Já, það er mikið eftir. Unnadalum að Björns sem er að tefla svo spassi.
Okay.
Okay, and Maya really wants the queens off. And he probably does because, well, if you take, then knight takes, this is under attack. And most importantly, the rook is coming in. I don't really see a great move for Thruster here. Maybe he has to try to hold on, just take, play knight b6, after rook e7 you have to protect this. And then try to play, well, yeah, it's difficult. Yeah, but this is very difficult. You have to play rook b8, and it's difficult to untangle. Yeah, so white is definitely a bit better here. Okay, let's see Jóhann's game. So what happened here? B takes c3, g6. So Jóhann wants to get the initiative on Búin. On the queen side, maybe rook b1, c4, etc. No, but it goes for the d pawn. Rook fc8, rook ab1. And we have some exchanges. So white would like to double on the 7th, but of course there's a back rank issue. Or maybe we can take and play maybe even g3, followed by this. But then again, black is okay, like rook takes e7, rook takes e3, g3. You can play rook a3 if you double rook f8, and black is winning this one. And white doesn't have anything to show for the 7th rank. So I'm wondering if he just keeps the bishop. Yeah, they should be around equal somehow. Uglan. The owl is in the chat. Veistla hjá TT í fyrstskókinni. Sáðu dronning C6 það? Ha? Dronning C6? Sástu hann? Það er fréttablaðsleikir. Nei.
Ég er alltaf þegar fréttablaðsleikir, svo sendið það aldrei á mig.
Hvað? Senda á því?
Hvað heldur ég að fletta eitthvað?
Bóði settu workinu.
Heldur ég að eitthvað leita þessu? Þetta er hvergi á netinu það?
Já, það er leita henni, bara finna þröst. Okay, bishop d2, attacking the rook, and then maybe thinking about some doubling business.
Some doubling business?
Okay, let's keep moving around. We have the robot here against Inna. We had king h2, she went queen g6, rook g1, queen h5. So she wants this one, but Hannes plays 91. So now perhaps there is a decision for black, because if you don't take on d1, we can maybe start taking now on c7. Well, she attacks f2. Queen f3 protects, still poking here. And maybe he kicks everything back with queen here eventually. Okay, I think things should be under control for Hannes now. Hudnin, has he found a way to stay in the game? Nope, he hasn't. Okay, let's see actually. I was not happy with his play. Queen a4. And now he's just getting the pawn back with everything. People, get your king castled. What is he going for here? Knight d5. Okay, he's trying to complicate things here. He has a pawn for the piece. And bishop to b4. He wants to play c3, push the pawn. Maybe there is some merit to this. I mean, white can bail out with rook takes b4 and take this. And probably never lose. Well, yeah, 2 pieces for the rook. I will see. Yes, is resilient. Let's see how he looks. If we can find him. Oh, did he log in before? I'm trying to find his webcam, but of course I went to the last ones, expecting him to be the last one to log in, but seems like he might have proved me wrong this time. And there he is. So he's down on the clock, 2 minutes, but he beat Akrest last year, so Akrest is trying to settle the score here. Maybe, well, I don't see any good way to do that. Maybe he was trying to get him to castle somehow, and then take on b4. Nah, it's not even working, so. So what's the problem here? If like, yeah, you can't really do anything with the king, like king d1, which I can't do. I'm not going to predict it, but king d1, then c3. We're hitting the knight. Where does the knight go? Let's say b3, then c2 check, king here, bishop here, check, and it's a problem. So probably Akrest will take on b4 with the rook, and knight takes. When white will have 2 pieces for the rook, but after you take on c4, there's knight c2 takes d4. So okay, I'm willing to forgive Björn for his play if that's working, because that should be a draw. And the time situation is evening out. Let's go to Johan playing against Blomqvist. What's going on here? Bishop to c5. Ah, he's playing for tricks. Rook takes a4, there's rook here. And the geometry is quite nice. The bishop doesn't have anywhere to go. Is he tricking him? This looks really nice. Let's pull up Johan's cam, because this is very interesting. Okay, we might experience some issues. Hopefully not. Yeah, rook takes a4, rook b8. We're hitting this guy. You don't protect it so easily. And if the bishop moves anywhere, this bishop f8 check, and that will be checkmate. So, let's say after this and rook here, you counterattack, rook here, but then bishop d6. Still, this is trapped, nowhere to go, and bishop f8 is coming. So what do you do here? bishop, maybe he has to do something ugly like f6, but still rook b8. And what do you do? It's noteworthy that this bishop on d8, it's completely dominated by these pawns. When you play h5, okay, so it's not mated. But is he? Rook b8. Bishop where? c7 maybe. Rook here. Bishop must move, and then maybe bishop e7 to f6. This looks very difficult for black to deal with. And meanwhile, there's no real counterplay. The king is quite safe here. You can give it a jack, but I can always wriggle out of it if I want to or need to. So black's only source of counterplay here is being able to take on a4 and have a passed pawn. But to do that, you have to survive mate. And as we know, checkmate ends the game immediately. And Johan is getting up on the clock. We do like it. We do like it. So Johan is looking good. Thruster he was defending. And he's still defending, but now down a pawn, but he's trying to get this one back, but he will lose this one. So we saw the queen exchange, and yeah, I mentioned this would be difficult, and he tried to wriggle out of it with g5, kicking the knight back, and eventually going for counterplay. I mean, you can't stay passive here. I mean, white will just play knight c5, win the pawn, so you have to get the rook active. This was the only idea. And hopefully he can get it active enough to win this pawn, and hopefully one more here, and then we have some drawing chances. The clock situation is fine. Let's go back to Hutnin. Things are happening quite fast. The Puffins, the Puffins. Oh, he's still down a piece? How did that happen? So we had bishop b4. He did play king d1. Why didn't he play c3? Was I missing something? What am I missing? Bishop b5 or something? No? Yeah, maybe there's some bishop b5 ideas. I don't know. But he went for rook a8, which doesn't look very convincing, does it? King e7. So black is just down a piece here for dubious compensation, to say the least. Not even a piece, not even a pawn. So this looks lost. Meanwhile, what's happening in Hannes Stephanson's game? She is down to 35 seconds and she's sacrificing a piece. Let's ignore what happened. This is the key point here. Where does the queen go? d3 or d1? If this is made, it's game over, obviously. If not, we survive. Probably queen h. Well, g3 first. Okay. Maybe king f1 takes and queen f3. King f1. Looks like a defense. Yeah, queen f3, it's the same idea. You just have to, after rook here, play king f1, otherwise there's rook h1. But that's not even made, so this looks promising for Hannes. This is an important win. We need this one. Do we need king f1 yet? I'm not sure. Maybe because king takes rook g3. Plays rook d3. So check, king f1 check, king e2 should be okay. Or is it? It probably, oh yeah, king takes it, it's okay. She goes the other way, queen to c1. Rook d2 looks solid. I don't really see any way for black to continue there. Everything looks protected. Pawn to rook d1. Okay, same idea. The rook d2 with tempo. And then I would just take on f4. I'm threatening f7. And rook f6. Yeah, I missed that. But now I'll take on g3.
Oh.
Queen takes g3. No problems. Okay, and she's down to 13 seconds. Let's move somewhere else. Thruster. Okay, he won the pawn, so maybe this is good. Only thing here is, no, okay, that's okay. He even has some counterplay. Okay, don't take with the rook, don't take with the rook, don't take with the rook. You can't take. Either way. If rook takes, there's a rook here, and bishop c4 check. If bishop takes, he probably pins it and threatens the same idea, unless we can play rook b1 maybe, but I would be worried about that. Rook b1. Now he's threatening to take with the bishop. And that bishop. Maybe king f8 was an option. So no results yet in the 4th round. And Blomqvist, let's quickly check in there. He's way down on the clock. We saw this rook b8 idea. Where is it? We saw this bishop a5, and he moved in for the f7 pawn. Was this the best? I'm not sure it was. I mean, he could have gone for this, but maybe g5, and at least the king gets out. What's the idea of f5? I don't get it. But okay, what should at least be okay here? I mean, we can just play here, take this.
So, rook b8.
P8, b8. Yeah, maybe rook takes a4 maybe. Okay. Hannes won against Inna, so it's 4-1 for us.
Yay!
And let's keep our eyes on the exciting games. Rook b1. Okay, Thruster has a nice tie match. It's always good. Maybe rook. Well,
rook b2 and then takes with bishop.
Það voru passað þegar b3 og hrókur til f7. Já, það bara kongur eftir hann þegar með hrók. The Puffins.
Ég glemdi að fara ykkur kaffi. Ég hellti þú upp á.
He's still playing, he's not doing well, he's down a full piece. Or, yeah,
he's busy not playing for the puppets, he's playing for the
Muppets. Okay, he's just losing. There's no need to waste time on that one. Meanwhile, this a-pawn is getting dangerous. Ah, yeah, rook takes b3 and rook takes f7, rook b2. Tricky thruster. So it's up a pawn, but this pawn is very tricky. Can we deal with it? Yeah, he must be enough for at least enough for draw for white, for black. I mean, check, maybe check. Oh yeah, if you want a drawing, just give checks. It's probably solid. It's very difficult for. Okay, I think we will take the draw, I mean, against their board 1. Okay, looks like Thruster is going for the draw. Rook b1, Johan.
Johan standing up.
He made a draw as well. So he didn't find any way forward. After, after king g8, he played bishop here. And then went for the perpetual. Because otherwise black is winning this pawn and has a passed pawn. So a draw there. And now Thorolfsson took the draw as well. So only Hutnir remaining and he's about to get flagged. So we're up to 5-2 before this one.
5 through off after that one.
Yes, most likely. So we keep our lead.
White 1.
Yeah, for 5-3. Okay, but we keep the lead that we got in the first round. So now for the remaining 2 rounds, if we stop it, we map it. So for the remaining 2 rounds, if we can beat in Agrest and then just get 1 out of 3, then we're obviously winning. So that's the game plan. So now a small break before the 3rd round. 5-3 for the Puffins.
Yes, we are on break.
The Puffins. Það voru bara að taka þetta með festu. What? Oh. The Puffins, the Puffins. Yes, throw would be good, and it was good. So guys, if you want to support the Puffins, there is a PayPal link below for the boys. No, I can't steal that one. That's already taken. So the third round hasn't started. I'm guessing it starts in about 3 minutes. So let's update this 5-3 for the Puffins. Okay guys. I need the charger. Action. TNT, it's dynamite. Okay. We got Georg Meyer. We've done well against him. He has only half a point so far. Our board for Björn Þorvaldsson needs to step up his game. He's trying to take care of the kids. Let's see. Reykjavik. Puffins. Meanwhile, Hjartarson. 1.5. Looked like he had a promising position against Blomqvist, but Blomqvist managed to defend. Inagrest went down against Hannes, but she played tagging chess and put some pressure on Hannes, but he stood firm. Meanwhile, Evgeny Agrest, the board 2 for the Snowballs. He beat Björn Þorvaldsson last round. So the games are underway. 5-3 for the Puffins. The Puffins. Inna white against Thruster, E4, C5, Sicilian. We like that. TNT, it's dynamite. Whew. Okay, let's have a quick look at the openings that are on hand. Hannes is white against Meyer, and we have Pogo, Queen takes D2. Johan should be, no, he's white again against Agrest.
He's white again.
And it's a Slav. A6 Slav. And he goes with Queen C2. I like to play c5 myself here, but he goes for a different line. So black loses a tempo, plays c6, c5, but wants to get some kind of isolated pawn position where maybe queen c2 is not a necessary move. Let's see if Hutnen can step up his game. Playing like a muppet so far. And okay, he's maybe getting a bit too predictable for this league. He's always playing his triangle setup with white. It's a triangle. Now he's playing the Cosio. Getur loka á milli það? Getur opna, ha? Ertu með? The Cosio, knight c3. And if Eric had time to prepare, might have something here, but we'll have to wait and see. Yes, the robot was this one, and Johan was this one, and Thruster was the Sicilian one. So just posting our links on every game, so we get some people joining. So Inna again playing aggressively. So loud over there. I hope it's not disturbing. G4. Okay, she's going for it. She's really going for it. So we see how worried Thruster is. I like Thruster's camp because he has this lovely painting behind him from the Fischer and Spassky match. At the moment he's covering Spassky, but we can see Fischer there with the logo of the 1972 World Championship match behind them. And I remind you that the Reykjavik Open in March, after about a month, is the Bobby Fischer Memorial. So if you always wanted to visit Iceland, why not come to the Reykjavik Open? It's a 9-round Swiss. There will be tours to Bobby Fischer's grave, the Bobby Fischer Center. You can buy a pin from the 1972 match, and there will be a huge Fischer random tournament on the free day, the 9th of March, which was the birthday of the late great Bobby Fischer. So do consider that if you want to play in Iceland. I have to plug my tournament. Well, it's not my tournament, it's our tournament in Iceland. I'm on the organizing committee, so of course I want people there. So b5, I mean Thruster, very experienced in the Sicilians, but Inna is really going for the throat here. But I like that Thruster hasn't spent much time, so he should know what's going on here. Meanwhile, switch it around. The Puffins. What do we have here? Blair, who's Blair? Let's see our guys in the opening. We have Hannes, who is off to a strong start. Very solid, and he's playing against Georg Maier. And Hannes Fianchettos against the Bogo. So Maier is a very solid player. So I would not be unhappy with a draw here, actually. Neutralizing the board 1. Going with a plan, we want to attack on board against their board 4. Get the points there, and if we can score only 1.5 out of 6 actually. If we can beat Inna 2 games, we have 7 points. So we only need 1.5 out of 6 to secure the match from there. But Inna has shown in previous matches that she's quite good. Is there anyone in the chat, guys? The chat has gone a bit quiet. I always try to keep an eye on it. So if you have any questions or suggestions, games you want to focus on, or whatever, I'll try to keep an eye on it. And hi, the expert of chess. Good to know that somebody is alive. So b4 white is usually going for. some sort of expansion on the queen side here. That seems to be what Hannes is doing. Rook after c1, king g7. So in many ways this resembles a King's Indian structure, except there's no bishop on g7 and there's no white pawn on e4. And probably white is happy to keep it here at the moment, I would think. So for our Icelandic viewers, you can have everything here. You've got everything under control. So have a look at this. This is Bergson against Ragnarsson. Stefan Bergson with the white pieces against Dagur Ragnarsson. And if Stefan did his homework, he's playing for the title of the Reykjavik Congress, the Reykjavik chess champion. So if he did his homework, he must have prepared against this line, because Dagur has been playing it a lot. And seems to be doing quite solidly. So we'll keep an eye on this one, maybe. You know, maybe. But of course, we're here for the Pro Chess League. But we do have a lot of Icelandic viewers. Hey, H. Brownie, thank you. Thank you very much. So somebody says that Björn is okay. We actually have to check that one out. So Hannes has a solid position. He goes for c5 here. What's his idea if he takes? Maybe, well, there are several ideas. If takes, pawn takes. This is hanging, so knight takes e5. Looks like it must be played. But then knight b5 hits the knight. You can't play b6 because of d6. There are some tactics, so I'm sure Hannes has the ideas more or less under control. I meant to have him here on the cam, but seems like I messed it up. What do you think? Is Hannes worried, or has he everything under control? Meanwhile, it seems in the chat people are happy with the position of Björn Torfinsson, the Hudnin, on board. Well, he's our board 4, so they're not playing any particular board, but he's playing against Blomqvist, so he's not down a piece this time, which is very promising. Yeah, Hannes looks kind of worried, I agree. So, what do we have here? C6. Well, knight e3 and f5, isn't that the problem? Maybe he wants to play knight e5, but this is looking a little bit grim. Yeah, he takes. I was going to say, he can take and just blockade on e4, maybe play rook d1 first and then hit him with a blockade. And I don't actually like that very much. This looks strategically very good for white. Fortunately, this knight is not on e4. If it was, this would be strategically winning, but with it on e3, there are probably some chances. Now, where does the queen go? Ugh. Maybe here, bishop here. But yeah, white is definitely better, but Björn can fight, he can fight, that's for sure. That's for sure. But if he loses this one, then you know, the game in the final round is very important. Yes, white against Inna, and he must vinna. Icelandic word. So he has to win, most likely. Meanwhile, how is Þröstur getting along against the aforementioned Inna? I like to pull up the picture of Inna here. There's a bonus if we have a female player in the Pro Chess League. They like to encourage that, and then you get you can get closer to the average rating on the teams can be 2500 maximum. But if you have a female player, they deduct, I think, 100 points or something. Yeah, So if you're 2300, you get counted as 2200. So that's to induce people to use female players. So Schraver asks, is there a strict drug testing policy in the Protest League? No, actually there's a better drug testing policy in the Elitedeildin. Do you know the Elitedeildin? The Siglufjörður Seamen team is going to get drug tested. So, meanwhile, Inna hasn't gotten her groove on yet on the king side. So maybe Thruster is ready to pounce a little bit. So finally g5, but knight h5 looks to blockade the attack for the time being, and is the logical move. The knight can, from there, consider its options. It can in some cases go to g3, in some cases sacrifice on f4 to block things there. But this looks like a solid Sicilian. I'm not worried here. Well, Seth Fox asks, well, for what? Excessive doses of coffee? Actually, they did have a drug testing policy for like the Olympiad some years ago. I don't know if it's like that anymore, but you couldn't have more than a set number of set number of cups of coffee. Otherwise, you, I don't know, failed the drug test playing a chess game. Very suspicious. Yes, I don't know. I don't like that. Okay, spending too much time here. How about the Johan? The Johan, who is playing the August. So we'll check out the player again of the soon-to-be 55-year-old Johan Hjartarson. He is up a pawn. Seems like Agrest is dead set on playing very aggressively. His name is Agrest, so he has to be aggressive, right? But he does have some scary-looking threats. He threatened. He sacrificed a pawn against Thruster, but it backfired there. Instead of having a rating cap, they should just force players to drink a beer for every 50 points above 2500. Yeah, I would watch that actually. Yeah, it must be a good position for Thruster. I agree, Uglan. People agree in the chat that Thruster has a nice position, and MVL, the Knight of Master, would be quite happy. So there are some threats to deal with here for Johan. I mean, there's a pin on this knight. There's maybe knight b3 with a pin here. Bishop can become active in some cases. This looks not too happy about this. And if you want to get out of dodge, well, he plays queen c1. This unpins. The thing was like king h2. You want to get out of this one, but then he could have. Well, this bishop takes e4, so maybe not. I thought he could take somewhere and then take on f4. At least it was a very dangerous. Meanwhile, I'm getting news that Hutnin went down in flames, as they say. Neither in logum, Queen e7 was played, king h1, bishop b6, so king h1 was to keep the knight. Well, that's what I thought. f6, and yeah, now the knight comes in. So, first the good news, black is up a pawn. The bad news, what are the bad news? Well, we're threatening rook takes f5, what are the bad news? Show me the bad news. Rook g7, king here. Then what? Queen h4, it's Czechoslovakia. Yeah, okay, that's the bad news. Thank you for showing me. What if h5, king, queen g5 or something? Should be enough. Phone here. Það eitthvað glemtur að síma hérna. Þetta er Helgi. Já, þetta er Ingvar, þetta er Þessi símir henni í skáksambandi? Já. Já. Já, þetta er þinn, eða? Ég veit það ekki, ég skal spyrja það eftir. Jó er nú hraustur, ég veit ekki hvað það er heima, sko. Jó, ég reyndar ekki hérna. Það byrjur, sko. Okay. So, this was actually our team member, Helgi Olafsson. He's leaving for Finland tomorrow for a Nordic tournament as coach, and he forgot his phone, which is not good, never good. So this looks very, very bad. How to defend this? Rook f7, there's knight here, which loses immediately. So the remaining option is h5. But then maybe just queen g5 moves in with the threat of knight. Well, knight h6 actually immediately wins. So game over. Let's go back to Johan. He played queen c1 to unpin, and then queen d5, keeping the pin, and bishop b4. So if Johan can get out of this pinning situation, then he's a pawn up. But what happens after rook e8? Aren't there more attackers than defenders on e4? How does he deal with it? How does he deal with the simple rook e8? I don't see it. I was trying to find like a counter pin, like double the rooks or something. Can we get away with queen e3? I mean, it just looks so loose, but maybe it's okay. Rook e8, queen e3, like knight takes, bishop takes. Yeah, that might work actually. Somebody's coming. Can we keep it down? Kan við ekki læta hérna? Já, ég hef ekki nægt stjórn á því. Nei. Fólk að tefla öðrum mótistur með hvernig þetta. Það tefla, þetta er ekki partí, sko.
Hvað fyrir þetta? What's going on?
Já, Björn að fara niður eins og trúður sem hann
This Björn losing as usual.
Completely losing. He will have a rook for a queen. Okay, I'm not going to spend more time on this. It's completely losing. So this is Johan. Okay, we have to deal with these pins. Hopefully he can. Meanwhile, Hannes played rook c2. Why did he play rook c2? Some kind of knight c3. I mean, he wants to like win this pawn, so like he wants to play knight d6 or something, but knight c3 was probably annoying. So rook here. So now knight d6 is threatened. If knight c3, then he takes on b4. If knight somewhere, then maybe knight c5 and e4. Try to win this. 3 extra minutes for Hannes, so probably that's enough. Inagrist against Thruster. We liked Thruster's position before. We saw this g5, knight h5, bishop h3. The classical way to try to dislodge this knight. a4, rook h2, rook f2 d8. Perhaps thinking about d5, I guess. Bishop g4. Okay, this is he allows the doubling of the pawns, and he's counting on his pair of bishops. He plays d5. Very aggressive.
Very good.
the thing is, you want to play f5, but then it takes on e4. The queen has to keep an eye on the rook on d1, and after we capture on d1, we take the pawn on f5, and it's more or less a winning position for black. And if you take now, just rook takes, you take on d1, the bishop comes to f5, it's a monster bishop, and you have b3 coming up. So perhaps this is just a very good position for Thruster. RB doesn't have confidence. He predicts 6-6 after this round. Let's hope not. Thruster should win this one, but we need. Maybe it's the most interesting what's going on in the games of Johan and Hannes. So what happened? Rook c8, queen e3, rook e8, and king 8. There are a lot of pins in this game. But did Johan? Okay, yeah. Now he's threatening knight takes f6, and then taking on d5. And if nothing, he takes on e8. So how does black keep the pin or resolve it? Or white is resolving it. So if he can handle this, then he's just up a pawn. So I don't really see what black does. So the player cam of Johan is basically pointing up to the air. So let's switch it back. So I actually like this. He actually has 3 extra minutes, extra pawn, and seems to be on his way to take care of these pins. Another idea is to play, well, I don't know what black does, but I can maybe play queen d3 next. I'm threatening knight takes f6 again, and once you get rid of all these pins, white is doing quite well. Yeah, so somebody was wondering if, okay, she didn't go for it, but yeah, bishop f5. Somebody was wondering if f5 take on e6 and get some compensation, but I don't think that's enough, because black never has to worry about his king. Maybe white can grovel for a draw, but I think it's unlikely. Okay, even flicked in e takes f4. This is just already one extra pawn and a very powerful bishop coming up. Looks very good for Thruster. So okay, Johan, we have Akras taking on e4 and knight c2. Is that an issue? It might be. So I think bishop takes d5, knight takes e3. Yeah, and the knight takes f1 is also check, so it's actually
clever.
A huge problem. Can we play our queen somewhere? I don't see it. Oh, this might be a winning tactic. So we need Hannes to get something from this game against Meyer. So rook c2, knight e5, knight a6, rook d7. Is there anything wrong with? Well, it's just equal. I mean, worst case scenario, we can take on d5 and take on b4. Hannes should never lose this, and Meyer is down to 1 minute, so a big time edge. But I'm more worried about Johan. Does he have any ideas here? Queen to c3. This is some extra clever. If rook takes e4, we take on c8. If rook takes c3, we take on d5. Knight takes e1, bishop takes c3, and we're keeping the extra pawn. Is this the move of the week, guys? Is this move of the week? Quite possibly. It's very complicated. I'm not sure it works. Queen f7. What do we do now? What do we do now? Does bishop d5 work? Maybe there's something on f4 then. It's very complicated.
F7.
I'm thinking that if bishop d5, queen takes, rook takes e8, rook takes e8, queen takes c2. We're still up a pawn somehow.
But if you play here, then queen bishop takes f4. Check.
Yes, but okay, king h1 or something. And then you take a d5 check. Okay, yeah. Good point.
Yeah, someone strong chess player.
But I can maybe play king g1. And then maybe in some lines you have an extra piece hanging. I don't know. Queen takes. It looks very shaky for white. It looks very shaky. Okay, while Johan thinks, he is thinking about this. We go over to Hannes, who has equal material, but this rook is quite nice. He takes it. His idea must be rook a4. Or rook e4, attacking the knight. Grandmaster.
Grandmaster technique.
Okay, probably he stays active. Okay, he's down to 20 seconds. That's something. Black definitely has the initiative. I thought a3 was a better move. Rook d4. This is really forcing. He wants to give a check and then come to e2 and c3. Attack this. So here and here. Yeah, but king f1 is a better move. And then e3. Okay, surely this is a must, enough for a draw. Only 21 seconds. Let's go back to Johan. He sacked the queen, so he has rook and a bishop for the queen. I think we have to take with the bishop. Bishop takes f4. King g2. And this should not be enough for Johan. But he will keep fighting. Meanwhile, yeah, Houghton already lost, so it's 5-4. 5-4. This is a tough move. Bishop c3. Okay, queen e2. There's rook here. There are ways for black to go wrong here. Rook e1. Okay, for now everything under control. Bishop comes to e4 in some lines. Bishop f5 maybe, just to at least create a threat. Rook e7. Okay. Maybe, I know it's too risky. I will keep the rook on the e-file. I think white has to defend here. He can't get too active. I can't believe it. Bishop b4. Well, this is hanging, but rook e2 then. Very clever by Johan. Keeps finding like very resourceful moves. But hang on a minute. King g8. Bishop h7.
Yeah, bittu.
What the hell?
Huh.
Okay, let's switch it up. Johan, what's going on? What are you doing? What are you doing?
Bishop e4.
Yeah,
Ég veit þetta flotta leikur, þetta gengur upp.
Check doesn't say anything. Bishop e4, yeah.
Bishop a4.
Bishop e4, there's no check. Where does the queen go? What did she do? Queen b3. Very clever. Okay, can we... okay, he wants to come over here, maybe. Rook
Check.
takes b7. And is there some kind of...
Hang
on a minute. He has to go to a light square, and then queen check, and then bishop somewhere. Bishop check? See, it doesn't matter, c6 or d6. I would come... c6 is better. Keep an eye on the rook. No, it doesn't matter, because the rook is taking the queen.
Bishop A7.
Bishop A5. Yeah. Look at the smile. Look at the smile.
Kannski heyra okkur lægja.
Oh, that was brilliant. Johan. The Puffins. Jó var að grísa alveg massið. Thruster won. Yeah, it was completely winning for Thruster. Well done, Thruster.
Kann ég hana þessi?
Það eitthvað blóta.
Býtum við. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, he's trying to win. No, he's not in time. This looks losing, doesn't it? Ég hef góðan tíma núna, strókar. Það voru 7-5.
Bjössi náttúrulega að drulla upp á...
Hann vinnur innu. Það bara halvan.
Hann sem vann yfir, sko.
Ég minn ég. Never any doubt. Oh, what a comeback by Johan. That was hugely important. Hannes loses, which seemed unnecessary. 2-2. Hann har verið 7-5 með það.
Bjössi...
Það er ekki bara að dróða, það er ekki klúður.
Jú, þetta var bara klúður.
Já.
Það restina.
Já. Það segur, hann hélt tímanum alveg.
Já.
Okay, but 7-5 for the Puffins. The Puffins.
Vann Bjössi núna?
Já, hann tapaði, hann verður að vinna síðustu.
Það tapalegt skáta.
So það er 7-5 fyrir okkur. Þetta er 1,5.
Það er 1,5 þessu.
Já.
Hverju tapar Bjössi?
Blomqvist. Já. Hann var búinn að lofa því, hann var að standa við það.
Ok, náttúrulega ég er með ylhumor. Þú verður að inna vinnu.
Mér heyrðist það ekki verið, þetta er símur og svo kendur. En hann kann hann á milli.
Þú verður að vinna innu. Þú verður að inna vinnu, eða ekki?
Hérna. Hættu að tefla eins og fucking rastrúður. Ég er í beinni rundar.
Ég er búinn. Þú verður að inna vinnu.
Ég er með 2 börn á mér grænjandi, maður. Þú veist, hægir að fucking babysitter.
Hver kemst í þessar skákir?
Við fyrir við eftir, ég verður að fara að sinna útsendingunni.
Já, það er hana Þjói, svo Hannes og svo Þröstur í síðustu vöðu. Það er að frétta SSB.
Það er alltaf að gerast.
Ég veit það ekki. Það var betra á hann, sko, svo ég.
Nei, menn að ég þarf að sinna ennsku, annars fara maður hendur út hérna, þau tala ekki ennsku, sko.
So what's going on with Stone Bergman?
Ekki vera með eitthvað 5 hérna. Okay, so now 7-5 before the crucial last round. I was yelling at Björn. He's the only guy who's playing from home. There's 2 crying kids whining and dining, but he needs to win in the last round. If he can do that, we have at least a draw. Then we only need half a point from the other games. Should be doable. So it was almost RB. You were actually on point. It should have been 6-6, but Johan. I agree, Elvar. For our Icelandic viewers, we have a quick look at the important Beppi against Dagur game. And Beppi looks very good. After knight g3, knight c4. And this just looks very good for white. Very good, because bishop takes c5, bishop takes, queen takes, knight d4, jumping into d6, black square domination. What is black doing? I don't know. Queen b8, attack here. But white has many ways to proceed. Looks very good for Steppi. Can he become champion of the city of Reykjavik? Maybe he can. But okay. Manus Monkey is saying go Dagur. Of course, because Dagur has been visiting the chess bros, so he's a good friend of the chess bros. Stefan is better. The sneaky monkey. Yes, I was gonna. Okay, we have to update our Twitter, guys. Yeah, I need some backup.
Social media.
Everybody on my backup team is playing in tournament, so. Hún ætti að vera mögulegt í 1 mínútu. Ég spáði því. Annarkvort 1 eða 6. Ég segi 1 mínútu, 1 mínúta passar. $7-5 for the Puffins after huge comeback from Hjartarson. Twitch.tv. Game should be starting soon. I'm ready. Are you ready? One man, one team. Reykjavik. And some hashtags, right? Hashtag ProChess. Hashtag the Puffins. Okay, good to go. And the last round is on the way. It's Þórðarsson Blomqvist. It's Þorfinnsson against Inagrest. Actually, it's Blomqvist, Þórðarsson. No, Þórðarsson is white, yeah. Then we have Georg Maier against Johan Hjartarson, who is playing the Leningrad. And we have Agrest against Hannes. C4 coming up for Agrest. That's how I played in London. And that's how he does it as well. Who do we have on the player cam? The hero of the day so far, Johan Hjartarson. Let's bring up his player card. Player card. Johan. So just before turning 55, brings home a crucial point for the Puffins. Will it be enough? 7-5. Well, actually, we need only 1.5 point perpetual stalemate. 1.5 is enough. Bishop d6, classical way to counter the bishop f4 London bishop. Now d5 is under attack. Do we want to play c6 and face some queen b3 ideas, or do we want to play bishop b7? I think queen b3 is coming in both cases. Knight b7 can't be played because of taking on d5 when we don't have the classical bishop b4 trick, so he goes for c6. Queen b3, I have a feeling, I just know how this guy plays somehow. But I don't. I would play queen b3. I like this ending where queen b6, c5 takes. I like it for black, no, for white. Okay, not the most exciting game, to be honest. Johan, yep, knight e4 is often a sort of an equalizing move in these Leningrad lines, if you can get it in under the right circumstances. Okay, I think this is the one to keep an eye on. The infamous triangle system of Thorfinnsson. I think he played this against in last year as well, with good results, if I recall correctly. But I have a feeling. I've got a feeling that he might have prepared something. But we know Hudnin will keep a nice time match, and meanwhile, what? Another 2 rounds. Meanwhile, over there in the other room, we are listening to Peter Johannesson and Herder Johannesson discuss their game. Very high level chess going on in the Reykjavik Congress. So okay, yeah. He's gonna castle queenside and go for some caveman attack. No my guy. Meanwhile, Thoralson against Blomqvist. This looks very solid, very equal. I like it. If we can get Thruster just holding on nicely here, then it's enough for us for Hudnin to win. So if you can get 1.5 with the white pieces, that would be really fantastic. Whew. 2 more points, guys. You just noticed the puffin hat? I mean, it's right here for everyone to see. What's the best way to do it? And the Ginger Jam sticker. It's my lucky hat. I use it in Ginger Jam Crypt Blitz with tremendous results. Okay, let's keep moving. Hannes, the Manus. Well, now it's just black playing in the London system, so I like black's position. Since white didn't go for any of these queen b3 ideas, queen b8. Whoops, sorry about that one. Well, queen b8 unpins first and foremost. What is white thinking about? Does he want to play f4? I mean, what? g4. It's just going for an attack. Okay. I mean, Agrest has been playing aggressively so far. Aggressively, maybe? Groothart. Okay. Georg Meyer against Johan. After queen b3, we saw a5, b5, a4, classical Zwischenzug, not allowing white a4 to cement the pawns, and only now the knight moves. But what happens if you take on a4? That's very risky. He did not go for that. Bishop d7. Yeah, and now if you were to take, then takes on c4, and b5 is hanging. Some nasty business. Rook f d1. So he centralizes instead. Black can take on c3 if he's worried about the a-pawn, but white does have the more healthier structure, it must be said. And knight takes c3 is not really helpful. Bishop takes, the bishop can go to b4 in some cases. And white has some pressure. That's true. Perpetual stalemate. Stockholm has a bad team name because us Icelanders, we do not fear snowballs. And if I could bring the camera outside right now, I would show you snow. We know a thing or two about snowballs, you know. Okay, moving on to Hutnin. He is up 2.5 minutes and he has gone for a classical speculative Hutnin g4 push. Going all out, that's what he does. Knight takes c4 is very dangerous. Rook comes to g1. Why can't I move it? Why can't I move the rook? Yeah, rook comes to g1. Then h3, bishop on this diagonal. There is some danger, but I like that Inna's thinking means he didn't have anything special prepared here. Thoralson. Nothing significant has happened. After c4, the bishop pulled back, a3 anyway, and castles. So solid. It's a flipping attack on the king side by Hutnin. Flip flenny attack. Okay, so if you have a request for a game, let me know in the chat. If you want some specific webcam, we can try to pull that up. For instance, now we're on Thruster. He's playing against Blomqvist, and now we see the painting. It's Spassky and Bobby in the background. Bobby, here's Bobby and Spassky, and the logo. The 1972 World Championship match. So Gary has been pushed. Shall we have a look at the webcam of Le Thorfinson, Björn Thorfinson? There he is. There he is. Let's bring up his game. Bring up his game. And she is still thinking. We like it. So now he's up. Soon to be 5 minutes.
Is Björn losing as usual?
No.
No, not losing.
Not yet.
Not yet.
He's gonna win this one. He promised. But the problem is, like, his kids go to watch a movie and then they go crazy after 2 minutes. They scream, so he has to take care of them and then he loses time. Right now it seems okay.
He seems to be concentrated.
So a very crucial round. We need to hold on to this 7-5 lead. Okay, Inna's taking her time. We like that because if the position gets complicated and she gets down the clock as well, then that's very good for us. So Johan, are we worried about the a4 pawn? Well, not anymore seemingly. What happened here? The rook ft1, he took on c4. Knight takes e4. Knight to e5.
Björn is drinking beer.
No, that's a team violation. Well, the team, unless you beat Bacro, then it's okay. So bishop takes b5, bishop takes e4. So he gets a d5 square, but the pawn structure is a bit shaky. He's up pawn at the moment, but not anymore. Queen f6, f4, and g5. Yeah, so white's trumps here are the better pawn structure, definitely, and you can put a knight on e5. It's a very shaky position for black, but for now he's holding on and has his On chances, what's happening in Hannes' game? Well, that's a very good question. Let's go back. Oh, we saw this G4 push, F4. So Agrest really going for it. G5 takes, F takes. Hannes took on D4, and now mass exchanges, takes on C3. White doesn't have time to take here because of check, so takes on C3. Bishop takes H2, looks very, very risky. Okay, but he's thinking about a check here. FG, Czechoslovakia, King F1, King takes. So black is up a pawn, but is it too greedy? Knight F3, Rook H8, Queen D4, he blocks the check, and now Knight B6. So material is again equal. But wow, what the hell is going on? Okay, the queen must move somewhere. It's very complicated.
Where can the queen go?
Queen
That's
must
not
go
a good
somewhere.
square.
Yeah, it doesn't have a really particularly good square. It goes C5.
What about queen C8 or something like that?
Yeah, we keep this pin so we can keep this.
Trying
leave
to
this hanging.
win the C pawn or something.
We should find Hannes, see how it's doing. Johan. Plenty of time. Almost 10 minutes against 8.5. Queen C5 was the last move. So funnily enough, material is equal. And yeah, Queen C8.
Yeah.
He likes the president. He just wants to make the Olympiad team. No. Yeah, to play Queen C8 for the president, you know. I mean, if we trade, then black is doing better with a much better pawn structure. And I mean, at first, when I first saw the position, I thought white was attacking, but there's actually no attack. So what does white do here?
Queen B5 or something. Queen B4 maybe.
Yeah, Queen B5, then maybe Queen F5. We have a pin here. King G2. And I can maybe take stuff. And then, yeah, then black is just attacking black. I think black is actually just better here. I think black is just better here. So I like what Hannes is doing here. So shall we see if Hudnin is G4, and she goes for counterplay in the center. Classic play by Inna. And now Hudnin is thinking, is he at the board? Or is he taking care of the kids? It's always a mistake to have kids. That's it's like minus 150 on your elo at least. 2 kids is minus 200. Okay, he's not taking care of the kids, so he's at least thinking about the position. And yeah, the position is actually not anything special for white. I think he's forced to take on E5, and then I might actually just prefer black, but that's just me. Still holding on to a time edge, 1.5 minutes.
Why is
Somebody said
so long?
Thruster is winning. Let's have a look at that. Let's pull up the webcam. You have to win when you have such a painting behind you, right? With Bobby. So what happened? We had a quiet position and then all hell broke loose. Played C5 and this bishop has to go off, covering E7. So the bishop comes in. Knight G5. Oh, he's starting to get build up some threats here. H5. Knight E4, protecting the bishop. Queen comes back, knight d6.
This looks very
Winning exchange. Doesn't even have to take it yet. Rook at c1, a5, queen to g5. I think somebody mentioned that queen f4 might have been good. Maybe, yeah. Hitting f7, but he goes queen g5, now bc. dc must be the obvious move. Does he have any? Is rook takes e6 a move? Rook takes e6. Pawn takes, queen takes g6.
Thruster is calculating.
Knight
You
f7.
see Thruster.
calculating.
He's calculating now. I know this faces.
Rook takes e6, knight f8. Bishop takes f8. Rook takes f8. Yeah, that might defend. But we can take on e6, knight f8, and then just pull the rook back. And then we have ideas of bishop f6 and queen h6 that black has to be careful about. Okay, so yeah, so he's calculating here. It actually looks very good. Let's go back to Hudnin, who instead of just being solid, it seems to me he has gone for a speculative pawn sacrifice. Should he have? I think he should have taken on f6, then take on e5, and then just protect the pawn at first glance. But what's going on here? Knight d4. He's going for the speculative compensation or something. Queen back, rook g1, queen b6. Okay. I guess a rook here, just trying to make something happen. Okay.
It's busy.
He's slightly lost, so slightly worse, so he's gonna win. I'm confident about that one.
What's going on with Thruster?
Let's go back to Thruster. He is.
He took on e6. He took on e6.
Rook takes e6. Yeah, I played it. You know, it's a good move.
For the Fretter brothers.
You know, Frettablas ligger. Somebody is saying, what? Maybe queen f4 after knight f8. Yes, that's correct. Queen f4, knight takes e6, queen takes f7, followed by bishop f6, mate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
See Thruster's face, he's happy.
Okay, while Thruster's calculating is Hannes, he was doing well, and I think he's very, he's a better pawn structure. Classic Hannes. Rook is coming here, weak pawns. He's better here, he can't lose. So if Thruster wins, we only need a draw, which is very good.
Then Bjössi may lose as you possibly.
He might be. Yeah, queen f6. That's correct. Queen f6 is stronger because then you can't move the f pawn to defend. Like queen f4, maybe f5. But queen f6, yeah. What do you even do? Queen f6.
He is calculating, I see it again. He is concentrated.
As he should be. That's why it's Puffin.
Oh
no, and a queen f6. Really? What does he do? What's the where's the defense? You can't defend this, right? Or can he take on e6, queen takes, king h8, bishop f6, knight g7? Bishop takes, king h7, and then you don't have any checks. Yeah, he must have seen something.
Anyhow, it's
But okay, I mean,
anyhow, it's good position.
he's up a pawn, and,
Still winning an exchange if he wants.
he's threatening this.
And
he can still take the exchange. So yeah, very practical play by Thurley, which is our nickname for Thruster. Just keep plugging our rook a5. I mean, if you can't find a better move than rook a5, what does it even do? Maybe threatening to take on d6 actually, but other than that, can I play queen h6 now? Queen h6. This is just deadly queen f6. Maybe even better. How do you defend the pawn? We'll keep the cam on thruster. Let's see his reaction when he wins by yes! You saw it, yes! Very good, very good. Okay, let's go to...
Then we're 8-5.
8-5.
You have to change that. Yeah.
That's true. Sást í vegkomnum, yes! Þú veitur bara þessi flottur.
Flottur, mjög flottur.
Það líka bara hvernig þú trykkar C5 biskup S og svo brenna það.
Það kemur bara rúlar áfram.
Já.
Það er ótrúið drikk.
Þú með tvær alveg svaka skákir.
Já.
Það mást að senda mér sér skákir, það semur hvernig er nálgust.
Já.
Okay,
8-5, we know
8-5.
we only need half a point and I think we...
Okay, trust. I guess Björsi loses us every...
You can't lose this. He's already up a pawn.
Okay.
Should we tell him to offer a draw maybe? Nah, no, he can't lose anyway, so...
Hvernig er það með okkur? Við þurfum 1,5.
No, we only need half.
One,
You only need one, so...
Já.
8.5 wins.
Hvernig er stöðan okkar?
This is Hannes, he's black. I don't see how he can... Well, he can protect the pawn, but... Okay, he's off a pawn, I don't see... I mean, this rook is out of the game.
How is Björsi now?
This should be good. Björsi is...
Shaky.
Just worse, down a pawn. And... Okay. Okay, he might be able to find some tricks. Johan had a... It was a very shaky game. We saw this, takes on f4. Oh,
wow!
He sacrificed a piece. Apparently. Bishop d2, queen f2. Rook f1. So what's
That draw is okay.
Draw is very okay. What is the problem for white here? We're trying to take on c4.
Queen b4. No, then he takes on c4 and hangs b2. Okay. No, he takes with the rook.
Queen is covering.
Queen b4.
That might be a move. Queen b4 and... Maybe then bishop c6. If you exchange this bishop, we maybe have perpetual or something. I mean, it's definite compensation. I mean, the white king is so open, goes knight e5.
Bergson is winning.
Mikið væri þannig gaman. Koman að rittar f6, má sjá það.
Let's focus on this one. Björn offered a draw. I'm sure she's aware that she can't take it, so queen a3, rook e8. Thanks for the info, Adolfur23. Thrust to the MVP from the chat. We agree with that one. How many did you?
3,5.
3,5?
Thank you, dæmi hérna maður. MVP.
Við kölluðu ekki á mig fyrir.
Alveg fullkomið þræla tempó, sko.
Síðast þegar ég vissi að Íslandsmeistarar í aðtróð.
Last time I checked, I was athletic champion in rapid, you know, so. I mean, okay, Björn is just down a pawn here for absolutely nothing. I mean, Björn, I'm gonna make you watch this. You have to start studying some goddamn openings. You're always playing this crap and you're never better against anybody. So study some goddamn openings. Even the London is better than this. Come on, I'll teach it to you.
He is higher than you.
Barely.
Okay, how's the time? Oh shit.
219. Okay, we need a draw somewhere.
We're not gonna find the half point.
No, we're not gonna find it there. Well, maybe.
Hannes.
I mean, this is a... But is it though? Yeah, maybe it is. I can even take on d4. Maybe rook takes d4, you see. No, it's not necessary. You don't have to do it. That's okay. Check, king d6.
Sé ekki lögmálið að hrókur sé bestu fyrir aftan byggði?
Jú, þetta er komið uppskipti. Það skemmti fengið þegar hann halvað þarna.
Þetta er hrókur G5 en það ekki neitt.
Guessburger is now following. Thank you, Guessburger. I take that back. The London is much better than what he's playing. So it's not even better, it's just better.
Nesse maybe planning to take on d4?
Maybe. Bishop d7.
He doesn't want.
Desperately trying to hold on this pawn, but
he doesn't get a chance.
But how does white improve anything here? Can we play knight b5 now?
Possible. Yes.
Yeah, if c7, just king takes.
King takes d7, yes, okay.
Hvað verður að leika rittari b3 eða rittari e2?
Rittari e2,
Tekur.
Takes.
Hann auðvitað að tefla það.
Já.
Það getur verið komin á hrókauppskipti.
Hótar hrókur b2. Og kongur g3 skák hérna, hann hvað gerir hann? Hrókur eitthvað,
hrókur g3
hrókur g3.
Tapar hann að sko.
It's plus 1,000 now for Beppi in the Icelandic Congress. No, Reykjavík Congress. Can we bishop f5?
Yay, stefnir að vinna.
Bishop e8. But then bishop e6, it's already a better positioning for the bishop. Yeah.
Hannes er að sigla, Hannes er sailing at home.
Sailing at home hérna.
Sailing at home.
Sailing at home.
Kongur c7.
King here, yeah, it's nothing.
Bishop e8 bara, bishop e6.
Bishop, yeah. Just take it. What is this?
King d1 after that. King d8. Take.
Yeah, king d8.
Hann drefur allt saman. Já, nei, við erum ekki að tapa því.
Okay, somebody finished. Die! What? What did he do?
Hvað kunne þetta geta stöðnað þér?
What happened? He played knight e5, c5, queen takes. So Johan won, so he already won the match.
Ég gaf sér kallið þarna.
Oh, he just...
He blundered the
He
piece.
took on c5.
Býtum að sjá hvað. Dróttum sér, dróttum b2.
Þetta er náttúrulega sprið. Dróttum fyrir allir.
Já, bortin ekkert
Takes b5, rook f2, queen e7.
Nú kom mjög glæsilegur leikur.
No! He played king takes e6.
Veistu, ég var ekki búinn að sjá þetta sjálfur, sko.
Wow!
Samt svolítið snemt hjá honum að gefa upp, hann var ekki biskut hér.
Ah, that's right. He was just shocked, I guess.
Yeah, he's still surviving. Bishop d5.
No, it's winning.
He said, oh my, rook g1 and just winning.
Við vorum að hafa pínulitlar áhyggjur, sko. Við vorum að hafa pínulitlar áhyggjur.
Okay, so what's going
Stefán
on?
búinn að vinna.
Það var alveg.
Okay, and Hutnin lost, like a dog. So a lot of excitement here. Meanwhile, Hannes is playing, can't lose. But we already won the match, so that's very good. Quick switcheroo over to the Reykjavík Congress, where Stefán Bergsson has won. We saw this position, queen b8, bishop d4. So he was like the 13th seed, so that's one of the biggest upsets in the Reykjavík Congress history. Rook d1, very solid play, and then he goes for it here. He goes for it. The pieces are coming in, plus 1,000,000, plus 1,000, everything is coming in. It's gonna end in mate, so black resigned. What a game to clinch it. Well done, Steppi. So let's go back to Hannes, who well should win as well. Oh, like this. Well, if you can win it, it's a huge win. 10-6. Not as big as Stefán winning the Reykjavík Congress, but Yeah, Steppi's blessi sko. So we're waiting for the last game to finish, and actually it's just completely winning now for Hannes.
Did Bessie lose as always?
Yes.
Did Boss?
He's facing disciplinary reasons for letting his wife control the kids.
So he got, the other guys got 10 out of 12.
Yeah, that's right. Good dæmi hérna. Ég komið viðtala? Nei. Þetta er gestræningu? Robot 1 on time! 10-6 for the Puffins. Huge win for the Puffins. Hjartarsson, Þórðarsson, all did great. Svartfinsson, not so great. But the MVP, Þórðarsson, with some great games. Gonna have a quick break, and then when we come back to wrap up the match. So of course, it's mandatory to celebrate with the team. So we had the moment very good win against
the Puffins.
Stockholm, who was they were in second place. They actually had beaten Ljubljana, which we lost against. So very good results for us. And let's just quickly recap the last round. First I'm gonna check if okay, Kurt is not gonna play from home again. Yep. He's not gonna play from, oh, what's going on here? What's going on? Somebody did that. Oh, Grocer12 donated $10. Grocer12 is a legend. The donation dance. Thank you very much, Le Roger. Grocer12. So, Bjössi, well, he didn't play well. Usually he gets some kind of attack here in this line with his Gary, pushes Gary, but here, yeah, if somebody pushes a flank pawn, you push in the center. Here, I mean, the position is bad. Probably you have to not lose a pawn, just take on f6 or something. It seems to me bishop takes f6, bishop takes, then take on e5, maybe with a pawn. Knight takes, bishop takes. At least you keep the material, play h3 or something, but this was just very good for black. Pawn down for nothing, and yeah, no compensation, and Inna played quite well. And showed us why she has not been eliminated in earlier matches. Thoralson once again, brilliant match. Played against the Scandinavian, and he just played solidly. He's been playing very solidly here in all the games. He just chooses solid openings. It's not, you know, nothing spectacular, but then when the time is right, he goes for it. So the white position is very solid here. And now, after castles, look how everything flows. c5, the bishop comes in, and now knight g5. g6, queen h4. Black has to weaken himself. And now the bishop is covered and the knight is coming in. Queen c7, well, black didn't have a great choice, but now he's just losing the exchange if white wants. But he didn't want it. He improved his pieces. And after this, a nice move, rook takes e6. And it's just completely falling apart for black. He can't take it because of queen takes g6, which mate with knight f7. After this, queen f6 might have been an option. But there's one line with knight takes e6, queen takes, king h8, bishop f6, knight g7, which Thresher just avoided with rook e3, and after rook a5, queen f6, this can't be covered, so black resigned. So, in Hannes' game, I thought he was here just a minute ago, we had this London, well, which actually became a reversed London, and once again, Agrest went for it. Very aggressive chess. But Hannes went to, yeah, bishop takes h2. It looks counterintuitive to open lines for your opponent, but he saw that he would have this bishop g3 check. And at first glance, it looks like your king is under attack, but actually, white can't really do much to threaten it. And now this is just a better structure for black. Especially after he managed to exchange pieces here. And now, yeah, material is dropping and black has the healthier structure. White tried to make some counterplay with his pawn here, but it wasn't enough. Eventually the pawn was rounded off, and yeah, the pawns were pushed and he won. And Johan, meanwhile, complicated game. He went for a piece sacrifice. It was a Dutch. At first I thought the a-pawn was an issue, but after bishop takes b5 it no longer was. And here he went for the piece sacrifice. And Meyer was probably right. At some point just play rook g1, protect everything, but it didn't find its way here. And after this, queen e7. I mean, rook takes d2 is threatened. Yeah, rook g1 is an option. but is it? Probably, I'm thinking about some options of rook takes g2, rook f1, queen f2. But he played queen e6, losing a queen immediately, and he resigned in disgust. But he could have played on with bishop d5, but fortunately he didn't realize it. But we didn't need it, it was 10-6 anyway. So a very nice win for our guys. And let's actually pull up Thorhalsson's win from the first round. He played fantastically, got 3.5, and played a fantastic move here against Agrest. With Agrest playing aggressively, it backfired after the rook was under attack, but the empty square on c6, queen c6, and it's just mate on the next move. bc and rook b8. Black resigned because of this. So yeah, 10-6, I'm very happy. The Puffins are very happy. I hope you enjoyed the broadcast. Stefan Bergson is the champion of Reykjavik, which was going on in the room over there. So a lot of things going on. And yeah, I think I'll wrap it up, and I'll see you the next time the Puffins play. Yeah, the analysis board cuts off somehow. I don't know what happened. But anyway, we're good to go. We're good to go. I'll see you next time. Bye bye. We have to leave with the MVP. The MVP. Grandmaster Thruster Thorhalsson. Frölle MVP. Frölle MVP. The Puffins. 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 The Puffins.